In this Star Wars Outlaws news update video, I will be sharing with you some brand new gameplay. Ubisoft have just shared with us 50 minutes of excellent new gameplay from the game, plus I have some new details on the game as well from interviews and such like that. But before we do get into all of this today though, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates on Star Wars Outlaws. So, Ubisoft have just had their Ubi Forward event that shared lots of new gameplay and details from this game and their other games that are coming out. What you are seeing on screen right now is all of the new gameplay that they just showcased. There is just so much. What I really enjoyed about the two gameplay videos they showed was the vast amount of content. There is a ton of variety from the various locations to the actual types of gameplay, from starfighter combat to using your speeder, stealth gameplay on foot, but also blaster gameplay as well. I also really like the stun module of Kay's primary blaster as well. That is going to be a lot of fun to use. But there is also so much density in this game. It's ridiculous. We haven't seen this in a Star Wars game before. Just look at any shot of the trailer at a settlement, and there is just so much stuff. On the floor, on the walls, the NPCs, dozens of them, all on screen at the same time, all going about their day doing their own thing. It's really impressive to me, and I think this might be one of the most immersive Star Wars games we've ever had. It really seems to be taking advantage of the next generation of consoles and PC hardware, but also really shows off what Snowdrop, Ubisoft Massive's own in-house engine is capable of doing, and the artists that use those tools. Whilst this gameplay demo is similar to last year's gameplay demo, just with more cuts and such, I'm still glad that we're able to see a lot more different environments, and there are some other gameplay aspects as well that have been shared. There are various mini-games and such, whether you want to play on an arcade game in the cantina that you're at, or you want to unlock a certain part of a building with a tool. There is just some really nice little details here and there that definitely change up the gameplay more than you'd probably expect. I also would say how the game handles the planetary travel and stuff like that is very reminiscent of LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which did it very well in my opinion, and the fact that this game does it very close to what we saw in that game, but not in LEGO form, is very impressive. I think the combat also looks better than I expected too. There are just little things like small slow-mo moments where Kay is being attacked by those hounds and it goes to slow-mo, but it isn't a quick time event that sort of can take you out of gameplay. It's very flowing and fluid, and I really can appreciate that. We also received some new gameplay details from the game's director, Julian Garrity, who did an interview with IGN. So this is what he had to say, and we'll start off by talking about Lando's role in the game. According to Julian, he is one of the experts and elusive characters that they've peppered across the open world, and these can bring you new skills, new abilities, upgrades to your speeder, ship, and blaster. This is Massive's own take on making progression really different from just putting points in a skill tree or something along those lines. You're actually going to have to go out and try and find people who are going to teach you how to do something new. So it's their own little spin on making progression a little bit more fun and grounded within the open world, and grounded with the characters that they hope we'll get to know. There are also a couple of other points that are worth talking about, so we will be starting out with our blaster as well as our grapple hook as well, so that's great. But that's sort of about it. The blaster is going to be very versatile though as the game goes on. As we know, we'll have modules that we'll be able to find throughout the game to do new things, and Julian specifically calls out the stun charge, blast charge, and the ion option to take out droids. Julian does say that this is a Metroidvania game much like Jedi Survivor. It gives you a real reason to go back to a planet even if you have done the main Golden Path quests on it. You can always go back once you have found that, say, blast charge for your blaster, because you've seen some walls that you know the module can destroy. Right behind that rock face, you'll find treasure, some good stuff, and it's a real motivation for you to go back, just like we saw in Jedi Survivor. In terms of where the game is at in development right now, it has been at the end of production, so Julian says that they are focusing on just fixing bugs and sneaking in 1 or 2 tasks at the very last minute to see if they can push the quality more. They are really pushing for quality. That's something he emphasised a lot. They are really spending time nailing down everything they can. As you continue to watch this gameplay, I just want to talk about a couple of things that Ubisoft have confirmed today, as well as clear up some commonly asked questions I've seen. So I've seen a bunch of people ask about the Empire in this game. Well, basically, they are in the game quite substantially. They just aren't necessarily the villain that you'd typically expect. For example, if you aren't doing anything, they aren't going to attack you. You can easily walk past stormtroopers, for example. But if you are caught causing trouble, just think of them as the police. They will start having people chase you down, but if you take them out, then it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. They'll send death troopers after you once you reach the max level, things like that. And there will be Imperial officers that you can bribe in various parts of the underworld, so you will be able to work with the Empire, sort of. It's more individual people that simply are corrupt. Also, people have been wondering, will there be any new planets announced for the game? But that's not going to be the case. They specifically do confirm that Canto Bight, Kijimi, Tatooine and Akiva, along with Tashara, are the main locations that we are going to be playing. You will have the orbits of the various locations as well, so you do have locations in space. There will also be space stations across the galaxy that you'll be able to dock on and land and explore, but as for actual grounded locations, those are all of the planets in the game. There was also a lot of talk in the past about how the game requires an online connection, which wasn't true back then, but Ubisoft have come out and specifically said that an online connection will be required to install the game because the game is too big to fit on one disc. They definitely should have used multiple discs, but very few games do these days. But they do go on to say that you won't need an internet connection to actually play the game. It is a single-player game, and they specifically did say, look, you can play this game free of internet once it has been installed. So hopefully that does squash any worries some players have had, because I've seen it, people commenting on my videos saying, it requires an internet connection to play. To install the game, like almost every game, but afterwards, you won't need one. Another big thing people have issues with in such games like this are microtransactions. Well, Ubisoft did confirm today that you'll be able to purchase the Season Pass and the Ultimate Bundle separately if you don't purchase the Ultimate Edition or the Gold Edition, but there will be no other in-game purchases at this moment in time. So at least at launch, it seems like there won't be any microtransactions. We also got some cool-looking new screenshots as well. Of course, screenshots just don't do the game justice compared to the gameplay. When you get 15 minutes of new gameplay, you don't really want to spend time looking at the screenshots because it's just a single freeze frame, but still, they're cool to look at. For me personally, I am very excited to check out Kijimi. Tatooine we've been to many times in other Star Wars games, but it still looks great. Mos Eisley, it really does seem like a living, breathing world, but Kijimi, we only had it in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, and that was great, but it wasn't a planet you could actually visit after you had completed The Rise of Skywalker, so I'm very much looking forward to seeing what this is going to be like, because it just has this really awesome vibe. It looks fantastic. That, personally, for me, is the one I'm most looking forward to checking out. Also, Cantonica with Canto Bight, again, only being explored in LEGO Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, which I did enjoy, but that was a LEGO game. It's not quite the same, as much as I do love those games. There is also this really cool looking artwork that was done showing off all of the crime syndicates that are in the game, some of the locations as well. What did you think of all of this new gameplay? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. I will be doing a big breakdown of all this gameplay very soon, so make sure you do stay subscribed for that. If you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like to help support the channel. And if you missed any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.